Let's review the cameras of this Redmi 12 5G in this video. It comes with a 50 megapixel primary sensor on the back. The depth sensor is of no use according to me. On the front we have 8 megapixel selfie shooter. If you check the camera UI, it is typical, MIUI. I found that this UI is actually a bit slow. Yeah, it is not that seamless. Okay, so this is, I think, due to the processor, or maybe they have to update the camera UI. Okay, now let's check on the samples. First of all, let's start with the video samples. Here is a quick sample from the front camera of this Redmi 12 5G. It can record up to 1080p 30 fps videos. You can see that the shoots are okay. It is not that bad, but the dynamic range is actually really poor. You can see that it is not that good. Now let's walk faster to check the stabilization. Stabilization is, I would say, it's quite average. I'm not using any gimbal, or even I'm not using any external mic, so you can check the overall stabilization as well as the sound capture. Okay, I can see that the quick movements are, yeah, it is actually a bit smooth. Yeah, not bad. But as I told you, yeah, now it is looking good. The dynamic range is okay, not bad actually. Yeah, initially it was looking really bad, but now you can see that yes, the exposure is not that well handled. Now let's walk faster again. Yeah, so what do you think about it? Let me in the comments. According to me, it is okay. The stabilization is quite average according to me. Now let's check on the rear camera. Now here is a sample from the rear camera. It can also record up to just 1080p 30 fps video. No 60 fps option. Okay, so that is a bad thing, I would say. Now let's check on the focus here. You can see that yeah, it's not bad actually. Yeah, it's not bad. It's okay. What do you say? Yeah, considering the price, we cannot complain here. Yeah, it's okay. Now let's walk faster to check the stabilization. Yes, the stabilization is actually quite average, I would say. Not bad. Yeah, but it is average. I can't say that it is actually really bad, but yes, it is quite average. Yeah, you can check the dynamic range. It is also okay, I would say. But yeah, if you compare it with other devices at the same price point, I would say that we have better camera phones than this one. Okay, now let's walk faster. Before that, let's check the focus again. Yeah, the focus is not bad actually. It is actually good. The autofocus is actually working. Yeah, I must say that it is working better in video than photos. Now let's walk faster again. So you can see that the stabilization is okay. So what do you think about it? Let me in the comments. Yeah, it is doing the job. Not bad, but I can't say that it is the best option at this price point. Now let's check on the still images. So first of all, let's start with the front camera. Under normal daylight condition, you can see that it can capture decent photos. Yeah, overall image quality is not that bad, but it fails to capture fine details. Even the exposure is not well handled. Here you can see that it is struggling. But the good thing is that the overall image quality is okay, and the color reproduction is very close to natural. Yeah, and the skin tone is also looking very close to natural. But the problem is that the dynamic range is really poor. Here you can see that the sky is totally washed out. Here again you can see the same thing. So I would say that the selfie shooter is quite average here. Yep. Next, the portrait shots with bokeh effect. In this sample, the front camera has done a decent job. The overall image quality is looking good. Better sharpness. The color reproduction is also looking good. The depth effect is also good, but the edge detection is not good. The problem is that it is not consistent. Here you can see that it has failed to capture details. Fine details are not there. Plus, it is struggling to handle the exposure. Yeah, so I can say that the overall quality of portrait shots with the bokeh effect with the front camera is quite average. But if you switch to rear camera, you can see that quality improves. Yeah, with better
depth effect, edge detection, and details are there. You can see that the colors are a bit boosted, but the overall image quality is looking good. So the rear portraits are okay, I would say. It is quite satisfactory. But if you take photos of non-human objects, here you have to be very steady. Your hands should be very steady, otherwise it fails to focus. Plus the overall image quality is okay, I would say. It is not having fine details, but the color reproduction is good, very close to natural. So it is okay, I would say. The close-up shots are okay, I would say. I've liked the color reproduction, although fine detailing is missing here, and you cannot get very close to the objects. Yeah, but the overall image quality is okay, I would say. Not bad. You can see that it is actually looking good, not bad. The rear camera has performed better than my expectation in HDR mode. Here you can see that the overall dynamic range is actually looking good, not bad. The color reproduction is a bit faded, I would say, and the sharpness is not that good. Yeah, but still the overall image quality is looking good. Here you can see that it is actually looking good, quite decent, I would say. You can check the clouds, they're well exposed here. So I would say that the dynamic range in HDR mode is actually quite acceptable. So finally, let's talk about the night photography or low light photography. This is one sample from the front camera inside my room at night under completely artificial lighting, and you can see that it fails to capture details, it fails to capture light. As a result, we have grainy picture. Okay, and if there is enough light, adequate light direct on your face, you can see that you can use it. It is usable. It's not like that you cannot use the front camera. You can use it if there is adequate light directly on your face. Otherwise, if you see here, if it is really challenging, it fails. Okay, and it is quite noisy. The noise reduction is really poor, and it is actually not usable if it is really challenging lighting. Yeah, and the same thing happens with the rear camera. Here you can see that if it is adequate lighting, you can use it. The overall image quality is acceptable, but if the lighting is really challenging, then you can see that it is struggling, and it is actually not working. The noise reduction is not working in night mode. It doesn't make any difference. So the night photography under low light is quite average, but you can use it if there is adequate light. So guys, after checking on the samples, I believe that you got a good idea about the cameras of this device. According to me, the cameras are very similar to other devices that we get in the same price range. It's not like that it is the best camera setup that you can get in the same price range if you compare it with other devices. And it is very average. Particularly the video recording is not good, and the night photography could have been better. So according to me, if you are looking for a device and your topmost priority is camera, then you should wait for the festive deals so that you can get better camera phones under 15,000. Yeah, 13-14,000. That would be a I think good option. Yeah, otherwise, if you are looking for a good performance under 13,000, then this one is a really good option according to me. So what do you think about it? Leave it in the comments, and if you end up liking my videos, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Cheers guys.